Hey there, welcome back to the Well Balanced Mind. I'm Shannon Rollins, your host. I'm a hypnotherapist located in the Orlando, Florida area, and this show is about insights to understanding who you are, understanding your mind, so you can live a happier, healthier life from the inside out, covering all ranges of topics, going from mental health and any other way. And today's topic I'm really excited about because it's something that I go over with every single one of my clients that come in for hypnotherapy. Now, it's probably a word that you've heard of before, but maybe don't really grasp the concept as much, or maybe you know it really well. Either way, you'll learn a little bit more today with me on my perspective of mindfulness. So what is mindfulness, right? A lot of people think that mindfulness is looking at the particular time when you want to sit down and meditate and you just clear out all of your thoughts. That is not what I consider mindfulness. That's meditation. That could be a form of focusing on one point. But really what mindfulness is focusing in the present moment, where we are right now in the present moment. You see, when we experience emotions, when we experience beliefs, stories we tell ourselves about us and who we are as a person, sometimes we get really, really worried because we focus on the future or because we're focusing on the past. Man, I can't believe that happened to me, or I can't believe I did this to someone else, or, oh, I'm really, really nervous about this presentation I have to give at work, or a phobia. I have a lot of people who come in and I work with them specifically on phobias. And the very first thing I always teach them, and really anyone, is the mindfulness piece. If you're going through weight loss, I teach that mindfulness piece of how to stay in that present moment at the time. You see, we are faced with decisions every single day of our lives. Every single day, especially with something like weight loss, we're faced with a decision, should I eat or should I not eat? And that could be every second you're thinking about it. What should I drink for water? Do I need to get up at this time? Do I need to get up at this time? And we're faced with so many of these decisions that we get distracted instead of just being and feeling what's right for our body and what's right for ourselves. And so that's why I introduce mindfulness, is to teach you how to stay in this present moment and just be. As Americans, we run around 24/7, we're running from point A to point B, and we are often really stressed because we are sprinting from one end of the universe to the other end of the universe, trying to get 500 things done within our day. And even taking 2 minutes a day to just pause and have a moment can have a huge impact on your brain and a huge impact on your life altogether. So hang around till the very end because I'll be teaching you a 2-minute little technique just to get you in that state of mindfulness and relaxation. Okay, now I want you to imagine that you are on a train station. You're sitting on the platform, you're sitting on the chair, and you see various trains go by you. And one train goes by and it has cargo on it. And you can get on or you can stay off to the side. And the first one is just some negative thoughts. The train goes by and you sit there. Now, again, you have the choice to get on or stay off to the side and still see it happening. Then another train comes by and you have the emotions attached to those beliefs. Negative emotions. You have fear maybe on the train and it's just in a little cargo tub there. And then you also have frustration, a little cargo tub there, anger. All of these emotions start going by in the train and you're still sitting on the platform and you observe it. And then you decide to stay off to the side on the bench, right? And then there could be other trains come by. Maybe there's a train that comes by with positive emotions like happiness, joy, peace. And they're all tucked in their little cargo plane or cargo bin, nice and neat, and it goes on by and you're still sitting on the platform. But you could choose to get on the platform. You see, mindfulness is being able to observe every single thing going on in your life and know that it's there. This isn't suppression. This is not positive thinking in the aspect of ignoring it and feeling like it doesn't exist, right? We have to acknowledge what is happening to us in our lives. We have to acknowledge our feelings. Did humans create negative emotions? No. We have them for a reason. Whenever there's something going on in our body, it's happening for a reason. This is not a malfunction. This is something that is communicating with us. So even if you have illness, if you have sensations in your body is speaking to you for a reason. There is always a reason, always a reason. So if there's one thing you can take away from today, let it be that there's always a reason. So if you imagine all these trains going by and you're seeing the beliefs and the emotions and the positive stuff and the positive thoughts, the experiences, maybe some memories go by and you're like, oh, that doesn't make me feel very good. And maybe you see some positive feelings go by and you're like, oh, that makes me feel so good. And you sit on that platform and you can choose to observe, or what we often do is we get on, right? A negative train goes by and we see it go by and then we say, I'm going to get on that one. I'm going to get on anger. And then what happens? We snap. We yell at someone. We get in a fight in our house. We become the arm flailing tube man behind someone in the car. Like there's so many different scenarios where we could just lose our cool, lose our temper, or any other time. Crying, which is totally normal, right? We release these emotions, but with the act of mindfulness, you're being taught to take a step back and observe the emotions. Again, not suppressing them. Suppression causes other manifestations in our life. It causes relationships that are failing. It causes illness. It causes autoimmune diseases. All of those things happen with suppression. So when you bring these emotions out on the table, you're able to look at it further, but from an observational standpoint, becoming the observer of your life. And that gains a new perspective for you altogether. And so I want to teach you the RAIN technique. This is by Dr. Michelle McDonald. And it's an acronym, RAIN. And this RAIN technique really teaches you how to identify what's going on when you have a situation that you need to kind of debunk or pull apart to stay in this state of mindfulness. And the first one is to recognize. Recognize what's going on. This is an emotion that I'm having and I'm angry. Recognize, take a step back, breathe, and recognize what's going on. The second one is acceptance. Accept that this is your reality. It's funny, one time I had someone say, well, that's kind of the way that you word that, it's your reality. That's not true, it's true. And I'm like, well, technically it's your reality. Because if you lined 5 people up who saw a crime happen, every single person is going to say something different. I've actually gone through that before. When I was 16 years old, I worked at a pizzeria, Italian. I ate so much pizza in my life. And the store was not robbed, but someone came in and ran in, and the other person jumped the other person behind and held him at knife point. Anyways, I was there and was trying to diffuse what was going on in the store, in the restaurant, and, you know, obviously being a 16-year-old, I thought I did a pretty good job. But within that, the police came and they asked me to identify the people who were a part of it, and I got every single one of them wrong. Every single one of them wrong, right? Because my perception, my fight or flight was up, but at the same time, I perceived that it might have been someone else who looked like them. Now, my coworkers had a totally different story than what I had. When they asked us what happened, we all had different scenarios, different stories. And that's because we all perceive things differently. So being able to accept that this is your reality and your reality only. It's only your reality when something happens. So that's number 2. And number 3 is investigate, that I of the RAIN technique. Investigate. Get an idea. Have you felt this way before? When have you felt this way before? And this is the step in the RAIN technique where you can really identify, what are my triggers? What is going on here? Is this something that I have become flared up before? Because honestly, the issue is never the issue. The issue is always something deeper. The issue is always related to a deeper belief that we have about ourselves. So that's R, A, I, and then N of the RAIN technique, is to not identify. Detach that is going on. Don't let it define you. Do not identify with whatever that is. Like if someone says, I'm an angry person, that's a noun. You are not there's no such thing as being like a physically angry person, right? Or someone saying I'm fat. Well, that's not a real thing because that would mean that I'm a person, but that is not an actual noun object, right? So we want to not identify between what is happening and detach that is just a human emotion or a human circumstance that you're going through, or that was a human action doing the best that you could do at the time. So that is the Michelle McDonald RAIN, RAIN technique. Again, it's recognize what's going on, accept that it's your reality, investigate further, find those triggers, figure out why this is happening, where this came from, and then not identify. Remember that you are a complete and whole human being just as you are. I know sometimes it's probably hard to hear and you might be rolling your eyes at me, but eventually you're going to believe it. You are complete and whole just as you are. You're just having a human experience. Okay, now it's really interesting, this RAIN technique. I posted on Instagram a while back, probably a couple months ago. And another therapist, because I try to stay in that community so we can all learn from each other, another therapist posted underneath, she said, oh, you should look at Tara Brock's RAIN technique theory instead, because she said the N is nurturing and really nurturing, taking care of your needs and what you need. And I said, ooh, I really like that. So I merged them together. So I call it the RAIN technique, RAINN. So RAIN technique. So it's being able to, again, not identify, detaching yourself from the outcome, and then afterwards asking yourself, what do I need to take care of myself in this moment? What do I need to take care of myself in this moment? Because I'll tell you what normally happens is instead of the not identify moving on to nurturing, guilt happens in between that. We become guilty because we feel a certain way and that we should feel another way. Instead, just detach, not identify, and then ask yourself, what do I need in this very moment to feel better? Okay, so that is the RAIN technique of mindfulness. Again, that mindfulness, staying in the present moment whenever you feel anxious, whenever you feel sad, any certain feelings, and going through that acronym is so helpful. Now, I want to share with you what I normally help my clients learn, and it's just breathing. Breathing technique. The breath is so powerful and so underutilized. So powerful and so underutilized. And if you're ever interested in coming to me for breath work, it is a powerful experience. I do breath work with all my clients because I know how powerful it is. And to be completely honest, when I go for tune-ups and do my own self-work, I always just go straight to breath work because it is just so powerful. You're moving energy in your body. Now that's breath work, okay? This technique that I'm going to show you right now is just a mindfulness breathing exercise. So what I want you to do, I'm just gonna talk you through this. You can keep your eyes open if you want, but it's easier to keep them closed. So perhaps you keep them open, perhaps you keep them closed. It's whatever you feel is best for you in this moment right now. Whether you're sitting or standing, this is just something really short I want to show you. And the purpose of this exercise is to help you detach and become the observer of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations. So I want you to just start breathing in deeply and exhale. Just let it all go. Let it all go. Okay? And I want you to just breathe normally. Don't manipulate your breath at all. Just go at your normal pace that you would normally breathe in and breathe out. And take a moment to sit in that space. And what I want you to do is label the in breath in and label the out breath out. So in, out, in, out. Now continue to do that as I talk this through with you. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands go really, really heavy. Let your eyelids go really, really heavy, okay, as you label it in, out, in, and out. And now, any thought that comes through, welcome it in. The idea is not to suppress. The idea is to acknowledge that it's there. Any thought you have come in, just say that is a thought. And then continue to focus on your breath. Continue to focus on labeling in, and out, out. If you have a sensation come in, maybe a little tickle in your throat, maybe you have a little itch on your nose, just label it, that is a sensation. And then bring your attention back to your breath. In, out, in, out. If you have a particular emotion come in, if the emotion is, why the heck am I doing this? It's, oh, I'm in a hurry. I gotta get this done. I'm so frustrated, right? If you have emotions come in with these thoughts, just in, out, acknowledge, say that is an emotion, and then bring your attention back to your breath. And continue to do that for maybe 2 minutes a day. And you'll see, I challenge you, you'll see the changes that happen in your thought process. Here's what happens. We have had a rewiring. Our brain is a computer and it's been wired a certain way because it helps us to survive. Our brain's number one job is to help us survive in this world. And so by pausing and taking a moment like that, in the present moment, you're teaching your brain to rewire neural pathways. You're teaching it. So each and every day that you do this, you're going to find that you're more calm throughout the day. You're more calm as things are going on within and around you. And you'll see this as something that is so powerful. I've had some clients come back to me and they say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that breathing was that powerful. So just doing that on your own, putting on some music off to the side and just breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. And there's so many other techniques with mindfulness, but that's just a small one that helps you really label and become the observer of what's going on, staying in the present moment, but still acknowledging. Because let me ask you, if I told you not to have thoughts at all, you'd probably get frustrated. You're like, why do I keep building my grocery list? Right? So we want to stay in that present moment. And I know you can do it. So I challenge you to that today. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to shannonrollins.com. You can book a free consultation if you're interested in something like hypnotherapy and the work that I do with my clients. Otherwise, take this great tool of mindfulness with you. Practice it each and every day and know that you're always learning and you're always growing and everything happens in its perfect timing. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.